everyone, it's Jess, and we're here to spend a day indoors talking about the Traitors US Season 4, the premiere, and the season finale, guys. Wow. Who knew? Just 3 episodes. What a short season. What a quick season. What a really fast season. No, but for real. It's the season premiere. The first 3 episodes of Season 4 of the Traitors US. I have a lot of feelings. I'm very sad, very bummed, a lot of things I like. Obviously, things didn't go my way. But we are going to get into it now. This video may be a little shorter. I am a procrastinator, and I am short on time of things I have to do. So this may be the condensed version that I had wanted, but it's all right. We are gonna get into it with some new graphics. Fun. Now, this is where we are after 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes. Obviously, we have our 3 known traitors: Candace Stillard Bassett, Lisa Rinna, Rob Roush. Now, let me tell you something. These are not the traitors I thought we were gonna have. If you've seen the past 3 seasons that we've had of the traitors, they tend to always go more gamer heavy turrets than not. I mean, obviously we've had some big Survivor Big Brother names in there. You know, Suri Fields, Cody Calafiore, Dan Giesling, Parvati Shallow. We've had Danielle Reyes, Caroline. I forget Caroline's last name. I apologize. I have not watched her season. But yeah, we usually have at least 1 to 2 gamers in the turret. Oh, Boston Rob as well. I honestly forgot. I keep forgetting. I don't know how I'm forgetting because he was stressing me out last year. But we always have some big gamers. So when Alan's going around picking these traitors, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get a gamer. Who are we getting? I was hopeful for our dearly departed Ian Terry and Rob Rosito. But it didn't happen. I would have been happy with any of the gamers in the turret. So, as we're getting another housewife, Rob, I was like, oh, we're going a different route than I thought. But we also have, if you see, Miss Donna Kelsey, the secret traitor, who we didn't know about, they didn't know about, nobody knew about. I mean, they knew there's a traitor, but they didn't know there's a secret traitor. So I was thinking, okay, maybe the secret traitor is the gamer. And they're having, Candace, Lisa, and Rob be like, the front traitors doing the thing. I actually do like them as traitors. I think they are a fun turret. I've never seen Love Island. I know. I'm one of the weirdos on Earth who has not watched Love Island. But I actually am enjoying him a lot. I'm also not a Real Housewives person, so but I know of them. But I'm actually really enjoying them. They are obviously taking a very different approach than, the gamers and the strategists usually do. So I do enjoy it. I'm just, as a gamer fan, being like, oh, they're not in there? Oh, and then I'm like, oh, they're out first. When I tell you, when watching Ian and Rob Sesternino not walk into breakfast, I was destroyed. Ian, I literally got up out of this chair and was face down on the floor. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. My cat was looking at me like, are you good? I was like, hands and knees kneeling on the floor. Like, you're fucking kidding me. Forehead to the carpet. Like, you're kidding me. When Rob doesn't walk in, I sat here like this for like 5 minutes. With the show pause. I'm like, you're out of your mind. You're kidding me. Obviously, smart moves on their behalf, but for me personally, why would you do this to me? That's okay. So, obviously, it was the good move for them. The options that they had, the secret traitor having the short list, they were very constrained from the jump. And the picks were interesting. I think that's one of the flaws of having the secret traitor, which I do think is an interesting twist. I know they are doing it on this season of the Traitors UK. I usually watch those after. I've seen, I think, seasons 1 and 2 of the Traitors UK. I have not seen beyond that. But I don't know. Because the traitors, the whole thing is like we pick who dies. There's already the limitations of having people who have shields. Now you add in you have 20 something people in here, minus, the 3 known traitors. They don't know, obviously, they didn't know Donna was a traitor. But look at how many people are on this board. You're like, okay, you get actually 4 options instead of the 20 people you could have had. Like, that is so limiting. It's so difficult to navigate. And the choices were... I actually thought the secret traitor may have been someone like Jam Jam, because the picks were all like, both times we saw the secret traitor go, it was 3 non-gamers, 1 gamer. Both times. I believe I should have written down who was in what. I know the first group, at least, was like Ian, Eric, Rob R. But he was a traitor, obviously. He's not gonna kill himself. And then, oh my goodness, was it... See, this is what happens when you don't write things down. I'm forgetting who. But it was like 3 people. I'm like, come on. I think it was Mark. I think it was Mark. That I was like, these are such easy picks. And then Ian. I'm like, fuck. I was like, maybe they won't kill Ian. What do you think? What are the odds that they kill Ian? I was nervous. Because obviously Ian's going in. I mean, Ian... I love Ian. Big Brother 14 was my first season I ever watched of Big Brother, like, ever. And I loved Ian back then. Love Ian now. I wanted him to see him play. So I was like, maybe they'll go, like, the route like most of the gamers go. They're like, we gotta take out, the nobody people. Not the nobodies. But, the people who are not seen as traitors. That's kind of the route you have to go. You can't keep people who are, like, the most faithful of the faithfuls, because nobody's going to vote them out. Then they're going to vote you out over them. If they're like, this person we know is super faithful. You, not so much. So you got to get them killed. ASAP. So seeing the gamer... Also, usually there's gamers in the turret not killing the other gamers. Well, sometimes. Sometimes I just take them all out. So when I saw that it was, like I said, 3 non-gamers, 1 gamer, I was like, okay, this is the strat. So they're like, I'm going to put 3 weak targets and then 1 gamer, and then be like, you have no choice. Like, well, we have this 1 gamer. Why would we take out, like, Eric Nom? Like, I still can't believe Eric Nom's in this shit. It's so crazy. I mean, it's so weird to me. As someone who's been a K-pop fan for 11 years of my life, I'm like, who knows Eric Nam at Peacock? That's crazy. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, like, I don't think people are going to be looking at Eric Nam as a traitor over, like, Big Brother winner Ian Terry. Winner of Survivor Jam Jam. Rob Tersanino, who, sure, hasn't played Survivor in 20 years, but he runs a podcast network talking explicitly about strategy reality television shows. Yeah, he's not going to be a threat compared to them. So they're not going to vote him out. So that's why, well, I'm biased. I probably would have kept Ian and Rob, because I feel like, as the traitors, you want to make it to the end. You don't want to be banished. I feel like with Ian and Rob says, I keep saying, I have to remember there's 2 Robs. Rob C, that I feel like they could have made cases later on to pin them as traitors. I know earlier on in the game, there's not as much to go off of. I mean, Portia, poor Portia, banished because she just misspoke and said when I killed Ian, and she's not a traitor, and it just kept misspeaking, just multiple times. I'm not familiar with the Real Housewives, but apparently this is just our thing. But she was banished for it. So, like, in the early on, there's, like, nothing to go off of. But I definitely think they could have made a case for Ian and Rob C to be traitors. I mean, you can go just on their past history alone. Like, Ian, he's a Big Brother player. He's played Big Brother twice. He won. He was one of, like, the younger winner. He won that, 21? Like, he's incredibly smart. Rob, hello. He 2-time Survivor player. He was finished, 3rd or 4th place, I believe, on Survivor Amazon. I don't remember exactly. Off the top of my head, I'm forgetting. And then, obviously, RHAP. They've been talking about Survivor, Big Brother, The Traitors, Amazing Race. Name a reality TV show. They've covered it for the past, 15 years? He knows the ins and outs of this game. Literally, before he dies. I've never heard anybody on the show say this until the episode before he is killed, murdered in plain sight by the Traitors. He is talking to Tiffany, and then he says it to Portia. Not Portia, excuse me. Candace. I'm looking at Portia, that's why. She says this to Tiffany, and then to Candace. Guys, I think they're doing a murder in plain sight. When he said that to Tiffany, I was like, oh my god, he is so smart. Yes, they are. They are doing a murder in plain sight. And then when he says it to Candace, I actually paused it, got up, and ran. I literally did a lap. I threw my headphones. I was like, he's dead. She's gonna go tell Rob and Lisa that he said that, and they're gonna pick him to kill. This is when he's shortlisted. And I'm like, oh my god, he's dead. But then she didn't, and I was so hopeful, and then he still died. We can't win them all. But, yeah, like I'm saying, they're both incredibly smart players. Like, he literally knew that the freaking murder in plain sight was happening as it was happening. Obviously, he didn't know the mechanics of it, but you could easily be like, these people are incredibly, incredibly smart, and they could easily be traitors. They could, they know how to do this game. They're strategists. They know how to lie. They know how to, manipulate. You could say anything and just be like, they won. They don't. When Rob didn't come in for breakfast, they were like, oh, he was a Survivor winner. You have to lie and cheat. First of all, he didn't win. I was like, he didn't win Survivor. Unfortunately, he didn't win. Are they still confusing him with Boston Rob? Boston Rob was literally on last season. Boston Rob has won Survivor. Rob Nino has not, so I don't know how we're mixing this up still. But I personally would have kept them in because you could make cases for them to be traitors. I don't think people are gonna look at Tara as a traitor, as Kristen as a traitor. At least not right now. Maybe you can make a case against them later on. But especially like Tara, I think I maybe would have gone for Tara because she has Johnny. I feel like people are really acting like, oh, they don't know Johnny and Tara are like literally best friends for life. You gotta sever that. Because they're never gonna vote for each other. So that's two locked in. Obviously they're not gonna discuss what they're gonna do. But you know what I mean. Okay, they're not gonna vote for each other. They'll probably take each other to the end if they had a chance. But like, people aren't gonna really think Tara's. And then Monet, I do love Monet Exchange. I would not have wanted her to leave either. But that's another person. She's a strong character, but she's not as strategically involved in the gameplay. She's very strategic. I think she's a big fan of the strategic reality shows, but she's not from a strategic gameplay background. She does RuPaul's Drag Race, which is a competition show, but not. You know what I mean? So that would have been a good option as well. Obviously Rob and Ian were like, if you're smart, you get them out because they're very strong, but there are other options as well. But it is a good move. I'm just so bummed. It's okay. We'll make it. It's fine. I do like this group of traitors though. I do think they're fun. As long as it's less stressful than last season where I actually wanted to reach through the screen and choke the traitors out because they were pissing me off. I'm like, get it together. I could see them sticking together for at least a good chunk of the game and not eat each other up like last year. Especially now that Donna the Secret Traitor is gone, who, when she was being banished, I was fully like, they're stupid. What's wrong with them? Why would she be this? She makes no sense to be that. This is not any kind of logic. I thought they were fully wrong. I was like, these people are really dumb. What's wrong with them? They're just voting out this lady because she's old and quiet. And then she was a secret traitor. I was like, oh shit, really? Damn. I was not expecting that. I was like, these people are dummies. What is wrong with them? Color me surprised. When she's like, well, you got a traitor. I was like, oh, okay. I guess we did. My bad. Didn't even think. I don't know how I feel about the secret traitor thing because I wish I just knew more of her thought process. We got the little bit with the first grouping of like, oh, they were kind of quiet. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But we didn't really get explanation for like the second group of people. And I don't know. She was also a quiet person, so it's like, this is the way with Traitors. Traitors is so particular with how you have to play this game. You like can't be like too loud and crazy and like in your face, like you're a traitor, you're this, that, because people are gonna look at you like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like somebody on this cast that we will get into in a moment. And and you also can't be too quiet. You can't just sit there and be silent constantly. You have to give something. You have to talk to people game wise. You have to give out a name. That was like the issue with Dan when he played. He just wouldn't give a name. They were like, give us a name. Who are you thinking a traitor? And he was like, I'm thinking on it. I've got some ideas. And they're like, who? And he just wouldn't tell a name. And it's like, just say anybody. Even if people look at you like, Dan's an idiot, why would he think this person's a traitor? Like, at least give something. You have to just give them something. Like, you have to just be involved, but you can't be overly involved. It's like a fine line you have to walk. You don't want to be like the obvious sheep that just follows what everybody else does, but you also don't want to be like too much of a leader that everybody's looking at you like you're influencing the entire round table, and then you get banished or murdered by the traitors, depending. It's such a fine line to walk. But it also, depends on the cast you're with, who's making it through. Like, are you more with, gamers, non-gamers, like bigger personalities, more quieter people? How are they getting along? It's such a balance. Or you can keep getting through the round tables by being fucking bonkers. Like somebody named Michael Rappaport, who I was not even happy that he was on this cast to begin with. And then as I watched him in the show, I'm like, he is killing me. He is killing this show. Why is he here? Why have they not? I would have voted him out. I know they're like, I don't think he's a traitor. Do you think he's a traitor? They're debating like, oh, is he a traitor? I don't know. Maybe. Yes, no. I don't know. He's so annoying. I would just vote him out for that. I wouldn't even give a shit if he was a traitor or not. I'd be like, I don't care. I would say that. I'd be like, I don't know if you're a traitor or not, but you're annoying as shit, Michael. I'd put my little chalkboard down and be like, Michael, you're irritating. I was like Rob C. He was like, you're either like an insane traitor or you're an like annoying distraction. Obviously that wasn't his exact words, but I got the feeling behind them. It's like he's bringing up nonsense. He's just loud and wrong and argumentative. He's obnoxious. He's rude. He is like on his bullshit for no reason. He's like bringing up shit at the round table that has nothing to do with anything. And they're like, what does this have to do with anything we've currently discussed? And like they're talking about like Donna being maybe a traitor. And he's like, and how about during the challenge when Jam Jam wouldn't give me the coin? I thought we were going to have a discussion about the shields. Da, da, da. And what if I kill you? And what if I kick your ass? What does that have to do with anything? That pissed me off so bad. You wouldn't believe when they're doing this challenge to get the money. They have to, they're going through like the woods, the stream, getting the bags of money. And they're like, there's the coin you could find to put in to one of the chariots to get the shield and sit in this chariot. And like every other person is doing like what you're supposed to do. You find the coin, you go, you put it in, you sit. Obviously, because they have to drag the chariots, some of them are handing them off to like people who are like older, lighter, things like that. But obviously the last chariots, it's like, I want a shield and this is the last chance I'm going to be able to get in this damn seat. So how do you get it? Like I said, the coin that you find. That's the rules that Alan said. That's the rules that everybody is following. And he's like, I thought we were going to be able to, like, plead our cases and say, Pitch, why we should earn the shield. I thought it was going to be more like a discussion. And where did they say that? Name 1 second when Alan was like, okay, and then when somebody finds a coin, even though you're on a 45-minute time limit for this entire challenge, you have to sit in a circle and have a discussion of, well, I deserve a shield because this. No. So he's standing there with Jam Jam like, well, why can I get a shield? Yeah, we should have found the coin. Sucks to suck. Can you imagine that? Like, imagine if it's like Survivor, you find the hidden immunity idol, you have to sit, you get your whole tribe to sit in a circle and be like, and this is why I deserve the hidden immunity idol that I found. Why do you think you deserve the idol that I found? That makes no sense. Where is the logic? Who cast this man? He's irritating. And he keeps bringing this up. He brings this up after the challenge. He brings this up in, like, discussions. He brings this up at the round table. This has nothing to do with anything. Everybody's like, who cares? Can you shut up, please? Everybody's looking at him like, this man is irritating. I would truly vote him out for that, because the traitors are not going to kill him because he's irritating and he's causing distractions at the round tables. They need to banish him. Get him out. Get him out, please. I can't do another 2 months of having to listen to him. It's just driving me nuts. He's so annoying. And he's, like, so loud and wrong. He's, like, convinced Jam Jam's a traitor. To be fair, I did think maybe Jam Jam was a traitor, because I thought maybe this is also because of the evidence that we're getting. He doesn't have this evidence, so he's just out of his mind. I was going off of the short list. I'm like, who would be bold enough as a gamer to put down other gamers? I assumed it was a gamer. I was like, I feel like Jam Jam would do it. I feel like Tiffany wouldn't put Rob and Ian. And I didn't know Natalie very well, but I was like, I think Jam Jam. I could see him doing it. He's just going off of nonsense because he didn't give him the shield coin, even though he already put it in the container. And it's not like he could reach his hand in the container and take it out and be like, okay, Michael, you can have it. Or we could have a conversation. No. Not how this works. Not how the show works. Thank you so much. It's just, like, so annoying. It's so irritating. I hope they banish him soon, because I can't. If he's not banished in the next batch of episodes, I'm actually gonna go out of my mind, because he is just so annoying. I can't. Can you imagine having to hear him for every round table yelling with his big mouth about nonsense that has nothing to do with anything? Oh my god, the thought, like, gives me a headache. I can't imagine it. I actually would, like, cry. Oh my god, what a nightmare that would be. Oh god, I don't even want to think about it. But that's. I'm like, I have to reel it in, because now I'm mad. We gotta cool down. Woo, woo. But yeah, my goodness. I'm so annoyed. Can you tell I'm annoyed and I'm trying to hold it in? Yeah. So, I don't know. I do like this season so far. There's some things that would change. Obviously, the people who were murdered would be my first change. The second, the challenges are good. I have enjoyed the challenges so far. I do think the team boat one was interesting in terms of having to put the coffins in. It does kind of suck for people that they had to go just like, oh, who's just the front coffins? Just drop them in there. And I'm like, damn. That is kind of unfortunate. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how you would change it differently, because you have to go drag those heavy-ass coffins out from the water with your boat. How to make it a little more equal, because if you're in the back row, they were not walking back there. They're like, we're just gonna put this right in the front. If you're right in front of the opening to the graveyard, that sucked. That really sucked for you. I mean, that's how, like, I think it must have been alphabetical order, because they got Ron, both Robs. Oh yeah, it probably was. Actually, that really sucks for people. It was just alphabetical order. You're like, well, your names are right here, so boop. Sucks to suck, I guess. And it's like, damn. If you're on the outskirts, you're good. You're in the middle, sucks. But yeah, I have like challenges so far. I always enjoy the challenges on Traitors. I usually think they're fun. I do like that they're giving, like, I'm watching, like, the UK prize pot is a lot smaller. I've been going off of that one, and I was like, it was like $2,000, like $5,000 you get the challenge, and this one's like, you get $30,000 this challenge, and I'm like, oh, damn. I forgot. I'm so used to watching the UK one lately that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot the US money is a little higher. But oh boy, yeah. I am enjoying this cast for the most part. a lot of people are being a little more quiet. You know, we're not getting a lot of Mark at all, not a lot of Steven. Natalie is being, she's quiet in a different way. I think she's like more, I like Natalie a lot. She is a little more strategically reserved, I guess would be the way. I think Mark and Steven are just kind of there. Tara's a little bit kind of there. I can't even look at my Johnny as well. Dorinda, I think, is laying a little lower, and that is smart because obviously she was on last season. She was the first person murdered there as well, so she was like, "I'm just gonna not make any waves." And I did love that moment when she actually made it to breakfast that first day, and she was like so emotional, and they were all like cheering for her, like, "You made it this time! You made it to breakfast!" And I'm like, that was actually really sweet. I did like that for her. That was really nice. But yeah, a lot of this cast is like Caroline's lying pretty low. Eric, I think, is lying. Well, Eric is a little more outspoken at the round table, is more towards like Michael. But he's been lying. Kristen as well. A lot of people have been lying a little bit low, at least for the edit. We've gotten more of like Michael, probably because he's annoying and you can't ignore him. We got Ron, who was, leading the charge to get Portia out. Unfortunately, to his detriment, because now nobody really trusts him because, even though they voted, they all, well, they didn't all vote for Portia, but they consensually, banished Portia under his 3 pieces of evidence of her constant slip-ups. And obviously she was a faithful. She was not a traitor. It looks bad on him. Nobody seems to trust him anymore. He's kind of just like wandering around the castle, like dejected. They did, the challenge where you had to like team up with somebody that you like really you trust the most, and nobody wanted to team up with him, so he was automatically on the short list for the most recent murder. It's like, that sucks. You just say it sucks when it's so early because you're just kind of not going off of much, and he just took. Honestly, if you don't know Portia, that makes sense. Like, she keeps slipping up. That's what happened with Peppermint. Peppermint misspoke and was like, "Oh, as a traitor," instead of saying like, "as a faithful," and that got Peppermint banished. So obviously, Portia slipped up not just once, but like 3, 4, 5 times, like many times in front of Ron, and he was like, "Hello." She keeps saying that she's like a traitor. She keeps implying that she's a traitor. So it makes sense to be like logically like, well, if she keeps saying it, she has to be a traitor. And the housewives were like, "This is just who she is." And the Real Housewives on the line were like, this is just how she is. So it is unfortunate for Ron that now everyone's looking at him like, so something's up with him. Especially because the conversation with Portia, he was discussing his theories with Michael and Donna, who was now just revealed after being banished as a traitor. I think it's going to fall back even more on Ron, though he is on the short list for murder along with, oh my goodness, Caroline, Eric, and Kristen. So he could be murdered. We left on a cliffhanger for episode 3. So I don't know if they would murder her. I don't think they should, because I feel like people are looking at him as a potential traitor now as well. So I would just leave him alive, because he's probably likely going to be banished soon. Unfortunately for him, very fortunately for the other 3 traitors, but I don't think they should kill him. I do feel bad. I'm like, damn, I always feel bad when people who are like, well, sometimes I think it's kind of funny, but sometimes people who are loud and wrong, and I'm like, damn, you really fucked it up. But the evidence, honestly, I was like, damn, is she a traitor? Like, damn, she keeps slipping up. But I didn't think she was a traitor. I just kept thinking she just misspoke. But yeah, it was not good. And then there was the entire like thing with her, Candace, and Mara. They were talking about like, oh, Michael said, let's get the housewives, da da da. Like, put that in the housewives and we target them. And then Portia says that to Michael, like, Candace said this. And Candace and Mara are like, I don't know what we're talking about. Well, Candace is lying. Candace is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And Mara's like, I don't remember. Mara has like a memory of a goldfish. She's like, I don't remember what was said in that car ride. I know it was 2 hours ago, but I don't know what happened. So it made Portia look even worse to everybody. It was just really unfortunate for Portia. Ay. So yeah, I could see Ron being banished soon. The other banishment we had obviously was Donna. Her downfall I think, was just how quiet she was. You could tell she like seemed like visibly like kind of stressed out. She was very like reserved. Obviously, she's one of the oldest person there. Now she's like the secret traitor. She has to make all these decisions. She doesn't really. She's not from a TV show like strategy background. She's not really connected to anybody here. I feel like she probably would have been better as like a full traitor than the secret traitor. I think that would have been better for her. At least she would have been able to work with other people. They would have had her back more. Obviously, I believe on the UK version, the secret traitor knows who the main traitors are. She did not in this case. I feel like that, obviously, because she put Rob on one of her short lists and he's a traitor. I think it would have been better for her to be like a full traitor in the turret with everybody else, because she would have been able to kind of work better with people. She would have had people she can trust. She was kind of working solo, and I think that was definitely to her detriment. I just feel like she just like I said earlier, you can't be too quiet. You have to give. She wasn't talking game to anybody. She wasn't really giving names. She just kept being like, oh, I'm just like, oh, I'm so starstruck by everybody. I'm such fans of so many people here, which I'm like fair, but it's the name of the game. You have to discuss game with people. You have to give people something. People feel good when you give them names. You give them like your theories, because like even if you're bullshitting them, maybe they could tell you're bullshitting, but at the very least they'll be like, okay, she trusts me with this information, to some degree. You don't have to go like a whole spiel with a case of like, I have this is evidence, like Ron was, with his multitude of evidence with Portia. You just gotta give something. If you're like, I'm a little bit wary of this person, like, I don't have much evidence to go off of, but I just have a feeling about them for like whatever nonsense, like, oh, they did this in the challenge, they said this kind of weird, they like anything early in the game, it can just kind of be like whatever. So I wish she had given people more. She probably would have lasted longer, and because they were able to successfully complete the murder in plain sight, they were all going to meet up. They were going to meet Donna, they were all going to be in the turret together, and they would have been working together, and I think that would have been a lot better for her. But unfortunately, she just didn't, I think she just didn't have like that, like, confidence. I think that position as a secret traitor probably would have been better for somebody with more like strategic mind. Maybe probably like one of the gamers probably would have been a better pick. Maybe even one of the current traders if you just swap them out. At least then, like, I mean, Rob, well, he's connected with Mora, but like if you put one of the housewives even as a secret trader, I think they would at least have people that know like they're gonna defend them. Like the housewives are mostly, for the most part, sticking together. I think all but Lisa did not vote for. No, yes. I'm confused up for a second. Only Lisa voted to banish Portia. The rest did not vote for her. So the housewives usually stick together. So I think if you had put one of the housewives maybe as like either Candace or Lisa as the secret traitor, I think they probably would have been a little more confident with the role. I feel like Donna, just being such an isolated player in the game, just wasn't really able to get her footing. I think she probably would have benefited from being in the turret. She would have had at least other people there to, like, even if they're saying like, oh, you're too quiet, you have more people to back you up. Sure, you would have Ron and Michael, though Michael was in his own world half the time. You would have had like Rob and Lisa or whoever was not like the secret traitor would have been there to back you up. And the secret traitor maybe would have been like, oh, maybe she is a traitor, and that's who I'm gonna be working with once we're all together, whenever that happens. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think that would have been a lot better for her. So I do kind of wish the secret traitor had gone on a little bit longer. I did like it. I maybe would make some tweaks. I would make the short list bigger. For one, 4 people is so small. There's 23 people on this cast. Bigger short list. Let's say half the people. Make it like 10 people. And at least do like the UK and tell them like, okay, these are the traitors. So they know at the very least. Like, so they don't waste a spot like she did with Rob R. So at least she has that information. And then, like I said, half the people, like 10 people I think would be good. That's a better short list than 4. 4 is crazy. And it gives much more flexibility for the traders. Obviously, usually by the time they're in the turret, they have like already like a small little list they're picking from. But I feel like having more options is better than like being like, well, we're forced to pick. Was it the first time it was 3 people because Rob was on the list? Like, well, we only can pick one of these 3 people to kill. Like, that sucks. Like, you're just so limited. It affects how you play the game. Because what if those 3 people were people you wanted to go farther with? Who you're like, oh, I built trust with these people, or we can pin these people as like traitors later down the line. Now you have to adjust your whole strategy because you're like, well, we're forced to kill one of them. Not who I wanted to kill at all. Like, I believe Candace wanted to kill Donna early on. But Donna obviously is not putting herself on the short list. So. And depending on how long the Secret Traitor would have gone on, they probably would have figured it out because unless she kept repeating people, you're going to be like, okay, whose name hasn't appeared? You can start whittling it out. That's what I was doing as I was watching. On my notes app, I was typing everybody's names that was on the short list. I'm like, so not this person, not this person, not this person. I was starting to whittle the list down. Traitors could do that too. So I definitely think there's tweaks to be made. I do like how they did the choosing of Secret. I do think that was fun. Where it's like, pick up. I wonder, it couldn't have been random, could it? No, there's no way it could have been random. I feel like that they would know what box they were picking. It would have the tarot card with the traitor in it. I do like they had to do it in front of everybody, and everybody could kind of like judge and be like, what's their vibe? Do they look excited? Do they look nervous? Are they like neutral? A lot of people were very good at them. The stone cold face, like, I'm giving nothing away. I did think that part was fun. I think we can make a little tweaks. I don't know, they don't really tend to bring twists back too much, but we'll see. We might see it in other iterations. Honestly, when the UK started doing the Secret Traitor Fest and I saw that online, I thought we were going to get that like next season. Imagine my surprise when the episode started and I was like, oh, we're getting it now. They are really coordinated. Let me tell you something. Whoever is running all the different like countries, variants, like New Zealand, they are in sync. And I actually love that for them. They're like, do you think they get all together and they're like, this is what we're thinking? Hive mind. Mind meld. We're in. You know what? Good for them. I like that. Have some cohesion. But yeah. I'm on a personal note, I'm so bummed about Robin and Ian. Oh my god. They're like one of the people I was most excited for. Obviously, you know, Big Brother is one of my favorite top shows of all time. Probably like number 1 or number 2. Big RHGP fan. I am a fan of Survivor. I'm not as deep of a fan. I am watching I'm going back and watching older seasons, especially as Survivor 50 is coming up. So I am Natalie and James. I'm not the most familiar with, but I was excited to see them. You know, get to know them more. Hopefully they stick around for a bit of a longer time. I hope the gamers aren't just gonna get rinsed this season. I know this is usually what happens to like the Housewives, and the Housewife fans are up right now. They're so happy. They're like, thank God. They're not getting killed day after day like they usually are. It's our turn now to have the gamers be rinsed day after day. I mean, there's no gamers up to be killed this time, so plus for that. Now, we were left on a cliffhanger for the last murder between Eric. Oh my goodness, I literally just said them and I already forgot. Eric, Kristen, Caroline, and Ron. I don't know. I feel like it may be between Kristen and Eric. I don't know if Candace and Lisa would go for Caroline. She is one of the housewives. I feel like they would probably not want to take her out, but maybe, who knows? They could. It's just to get the stink off, keep the sus off of them. Like, we're going to take out a housewife. They already lost Portia, though, so I don't know. Ron, I feel like if they could kill him, but I feel like they should keep him in, as he's probably going to be banished soon enough. And Eric's not doing a lot. So he's kind of like, like one of the random picks. Like, I feel like Kristen too. That it's like, you kind of want your kills to be random, so there's not like a pattern you can trace back to a person. They've already killed 2 gamers and people are like, they're coming for the gamers. you don't want a traceable pattern. Not good. So I feel like Eric or Kristen may be the move. Caroline, if they want to throw off the scent of being a housewife in the turret, and I don't know. I don't think they should do Ron. I feel like Ron's probably be the last choice of who they should pick to kill. They can get him banished for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Caroline would be maybe like the more wild card pick. Yeah, I'm sticking between Eric, Kristen, in my opinion of who's gonna get killed by the traitors next. They are still out there tied to that damn tree. Listen. I'm not familiar with Kristen. I'm very familiar with Eric Nam. After, like I said, K-pop fan for 11 years. When they dropped that rumored cast in June, and I scrolled through that list and I saw Eric Nam's name, I actually was like, huh? It baffles me. He's not, contributing the most to the game right now. So if he dies, fine. But I kind of want him to say, just for the campiness of being like, Eric Nam is on the traitors for some reason. Just to be like, what is Eric Nam doing here still? It's so... I want to know so bad how they found this man. Who knows about Eric Nam? It was like the most random pick. Well, maybe because I heard they're making a Traitors Korea version. They're working on that coming out soon. So maybe that was like, hey, if we start getting like a Korean idol, maybe we start promoting Traitors Korea. That could be it too. Maybe, you never know. But no, it's just like a total like side tangent. I'm just like, it's so weird. It's so random to me. I'm like, how do they know this man? Wild. But yeah. I could see any of the other three being. I don't think they should do Ron. They could, but I don't think they should. I think they're smart enough to know not to do that. If they're smart enough to get out Rob and Ian, they're smart enough not to kill Ron just because. I'm excited to see where we go. Hopefully episodes 4 and 5. We got another multiple episodes coming out next week. Episodes 4 and 5. I am praying to literally anybody, anything out there, that they just banish Michael. Just get him out. I can't deal with this man no more. If he gets Jam banished, I'm gonna be fucking livid. I will be so mad. You wouldn't even believe. I will reach this damn computer screen and scream. Throttle him. I don't even... He's pissing me off. It's so annoying. Like, I can't even believe it. It's so... Like, I've never seen people so irritated at a round table. They're just like, why is he talking? And I'm like, maybe you should banish him and he will stop talking. Especially if he's gonna be annoying about the challenges and the shields. If you imagine Trish trying to get a shield and he's breathing and you look like, well, I deserve a shield. Cowabummer, dude. Maybe you should have found it. Name of the game, babes. Find the damn shield. Sucks to suck. That's my hot take. It sucks to suck. Find your own damn shields. So that's kind of all I have. I am, like I said, on a little bit of a time crunch, so I can't talk as much as I would have wanted to initially. Overall, I'm very, very sad on a personal note about losing Ian and Rob so early. But I am gonna be optimistic. I actually am enjoying the Scribble Traitors, so I think we're in for like a fun time. Not as much of a strategically, savvy season, but I do like the fun of it all. And I think they are strategic in their own ways. They're just in a different way, I guess would be. They're not gamer strategic, obviously. But they are strategic in their own way. So I am excited. I'm hoping and praying we get this man out of this damn castle. But that's all I have for right now. Me my own fault for being on a time crunch. But thank you guys so much for watching. We will have more Traitors coverage next Sunday for episodes 4 and 5, as well as this Friday coming up with more coverage of the Pitt season 2. Episode 2 will be coming out on Thursday, so I'll be posting that on Friday. And I'll be more organized than I was last week when I was dead tired and out of my mind. So let me know your thoughts below. How do you feel about the people we've lost so far? Our banished Portia and Donna, our murdered Ian and Rob, or Ian who has passed away, as Ron said, which killed me. I'm like Ian passed in his sleep and was not murdered. Very funny to me. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below. How annoyed are you by Mike Rappaport? Let me know. Please. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how irritating he is. Yeah, but that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching, especially after my, little break I took. But that's all I got. I will see y'all next week. Or this Friday too. Well, you know what I mean. Alright, well, bye.